Teacher, Let Your Light Shine community. Today, we are blessed with a very special podcast interview with the wonderful Kami Melton. Kami Melton is a part of our Microschool Masterminds community. She is also the creator and the wonderful ingenuity mind of her small community micro school homeschool hybrid. In today's episode, I know that you are going to be so profoundly moved by the information she shares as a teacher, a micro school owner, in a small town community, and how she is really changing the trajectory of education. You are in for a treat. Cami, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mackenzie. It's good to see you again and talk with you.
You as well. You have been such a source of wisdom. You are an ongoing learner. I am so grateful that you have taken the time out. You just finished teaching or in the middle of teaching to come and hop on this podcast. Thank you so much. What I have noticed from you being a Microschool Masterminds member is you are really dedicated to professional development. And I'm so proud of you for that because I know that it is not always when someone decides that they're going to get into a membership or get into a group to commit themselves to ongoing learning. It's not always an easy jump, so to speak. I am delighted to share your story about having your micro school and how you are continuing to professionally develop yourself for the goodness of not only yourself, but your school and your community. So take us through how this all began for you.
You're in for a long story. I'll try to
We're
keep it
here
short,
for
though.
it.
Well, I've been teaching since before I left high school. I was a tutor in high school and even taught for a semester band for a homeschool group. When our band director died in December, I took them through the rest of the school year. I was in 10th grade. So, and
Oh,
then in 11th and 12th grade, I was an official tutor because it was part of our school system that when you were a junior and senior, you were required to tutor the middle schoolers. And my one prayer all through life has been that, dear Lord, I don't want to be sent as a missionary to Africa, and I don't want to be a teacher. Anything else I would love to do. And lo and
wow.
behold, here we are. But
Why do you think that
like
was pressed upon you that you were adamant of what you didn't want to do?
I'm the oldest of four children, and my mom homeschooled us on and off. A lot of times I would have to lead my younger siblings in learning, and it just did not go as well as it could have because siblings
Sure.
are they get on each other's nerves very easily, especially when someone like me is a know-it-all and the other person isn't feeling it. So
Right. Wow. I am so moved by the idea that you yourself were homeschooled. You had this experience of tutoring and teaching, yet you knew I want to run as far away from it as possible. But the Lord
and
does
yet
find us.
that's right.
We can run and we can hide, but He is still there and He will still pull us back, won't He?
He sure will. And no matter what I ended up doing, from then on, I ended up learning it and then teaching it, learning it and then teaching it. Whether it was when I was younger, I was working at a martial arts school, and I have, if I started a job, I would learn it and then train other people doing it. So it's
Wow.
been a whole journey. But then when I had my own kids, I knew that I wanted to homeschool them because I knew that my husband and I could do a better job.
Mm. Was there a little
So
bit of
we,
fear because of your experience with homeschooling, even though you thought we could do a better job? Was there still a little bit of a fear inside of you of your own past experience?
none.
Good.
There was no fear. I was excited to jump in.
Wow. And then how long did you homeschool your children?
Well, I started in 2006, 2007 with our oldest, who's 21 now, almost 22, and I'm still doing it. So,
You
quite a long
homeschooled your
time.
own children all the way through.
Yes, and my youngest is 4.
Oh,
He's a cutie pie.
tell us your children and their ages.
My oldest is my oldest is Honora. She is 21, almost 22. My next one down is, and you can do the math on this, it's a lot of fun. Same husband the whole time, by the way. My next child down is Haven, and she just turned 10.
Wow.
Mhm. Next one down is Rowan. He's 6.
Oh,
And then we have Thomas, who is 4.
oh, that's so precious.
Mhm.
So you were homeschooling one child for a while,
All the way through.
and then you had another child
Mhm.
homeschooling,
Mhm.
and then two more. And I assume they're a part of your micro school or hybrid program.
Mhm.
How did you go from homeschooling your own children to then inviting others in as well?
For the last 12, 13, maybe almost 14 years now, I've been working with various other people who are in the academic community, um, PhD people that have way more book smarts than I have ever even dreamed of having, on developing a proprietary curriculum in the classical, using the classical method and model. So that's been going on for quite some time. And we were thinking about opening a brick and mortar school.
Mm.
However, when we moved, this is a whole other part of the story. During COVID, we moved from Poland to the States. Um,
Ah.
my oldest daughter was finishing up 10th grade. And uh, when we moved back to my husband's hometown where he grew up in Southwest Georgia, little community, amazing, beautiful people. And it was a surprise to me that there were as few homeschoolers in this area as there were. But when we
Mm.
saw the need surrounding us, of people who didn't quite fit into the public school for what they wanted to teach their children, or just the overall general mentality of and constrictions that the public school system was offering. They wanted something different.
Mhm.
And we had a family in our church who came and talked to me and said, my second grade daughter is crying every day before school. And then she's coming home and crying for hours after school.
Mm.
And that's not a good situation.
No.
And she's not the only person that's come to us from that. Most of my students are like that. Sorry, the electricity here has been giving us problems recently.
That's okay. We just have to roll with the punches, don't we?
Yeah. Our house is about 200 years old. So,
Oh
and
my
we're way out in the
goodness.
country. So things happen all
Oh,
the time, and it's just
yes.
one of those things.
I know our listeners can appreciate it. So
Hmm.
if you're listening to the podcast right now, Cami and I are Zooming. This podcast is aired on YouTube, so you can actually see Cami and I face to face. And Cami's lights went out. But thank God your computer's still fine, Cami. Hallelujah. So,
I made sure
Cami,
we were good and charged up.
yeah, that's beautiful. Cami, I have a question. I want to take us back a little bit. You were from Poland. Is that where you grew up?
No, we only lived there for about 2 years. My husband was teaching at a university in Poznan.
Okay, so you married a teacher.
I did. I married a professor. He
Oh.
wasn't a professor until after we got married, though.
And did you move for his profession?
We did.
What a journey.
Hmm.
So, were you predominantly homeschooling your oldest daughter and probably your second child, as well as Rowan, your third?
Rowan was
So it
born
was
while we were over there.
okay. But your youngest 4-year-old had not been born yet, obviously, because you moved into
Correct.
COVID. Okay. So had you lived in Southwest Georgia before you moved to Poland?
No, we lived in Virginia.
Okay, so you lived in Virginia, you're homeschooling in Virginia, and what was it like homeschooling in Virginia tw 15, 16 years ago?
The area that we lived in central Virginia is kind of like a homeschool mecca. They had everything you could imagine. Somebody was doing this group over here, and somebody else was doing this sports team over here. And I think there were three different theater groups that were putting
Oh,
on plays and musicals all throughout the year. And they had all kinds of sports teams. They had a homeschool orchestra, homeschool, everything you can imagine. And they were good too. Their
wow.
cross country teams would clean up.
That is fascinating. I know that many of our listeners, they would be so intrigued by that type of community. Here in Florida, we are pretty well versed with homeschooling, but also there's so many forms of education here in Florida. But I will say it's very, very, very spread out. So you have to
Mhm.
drive a far distance to receive all of the plethora of activities that you are describing. And was so that was your predominant job was homeschooling.
It was. And I would do
And
different things on the side, but
okay,
mostly just
yeah,
homeschooling.
that's beautiful. And then was this where you were working with all of the other incredible people that were working through the proprietary curriculum? Was this first started in Virginia or did this happen in Poland or Georgia?
All of the above.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was amazing how God would just bring one person to work with me and then bring another one in and another one in, no matter where we were living. It was really neat to see.
This is a very cool journey. And I want to dig in to the root of it, which was about this community that you were working with the curriculum. Explain what proprietary curriculum is and what this actually entailed for you as a mom who was homeschooling at the time.
The proprietary curriculum is one that you build yourself from the ground up, in that you are writing every single word of the curriculum and then you copyright it to sell to others.
What was it called? And do you
It's
still
called the
sell it?
Arkwright. We're working on that. We're working on that. We were hoping to launch it this fall, but then 2 days after school started, things happened. We'll probably get into that later. But
Yes.
it's been prevent that one incident has prevented us from doing a whole lot until probably maybe next semester.
Okay.
But
And you've been working
we're
on this
hoping to launch that.
curriculum.
Sorry, go ahead.
You've been working on this curriculum for several years with others, creating the curriculum. Have you been using this curriculum in with your own children and in your micro school?
We beta tested it in 2021 with my own kids, and then we continued beta testing for 2022, 2023. And then in 2023, we just started using it outright. We're still making some adjustments to it, but overall, I think we've got it down.
Wow. And what type of learners does this curriculum serve?
Just about anybody, just about anyone. We deal mostly in at Arkwright Microschool. We deal mostly with 2E learners, which is twice exceptional
Mhm.
learners. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, which means that a child might be dealing with ADHD issues, but they're also gifted in a certain other area. So their grade levels for different subjects are all over the map.
Of
And it's
course.
a little funny, but it's also really fun to see them uh, be able to use their strengths to bolster up their weaknesses,
Mm, that is a beautiful approach. Is the curriculum paper-based?
mostly. But we're going
Okay.
to be launching it online too.
Oh, beautiful.
And it'll have audio files and video files along with training sessions that are video.
How much time do you feel you've had to commit to creating your own curriculum?
Not enough.
Ah! Because I know that there are so many of us who are creating these wonderful models, and we are trying to use curriculum from all over the place to serve our learners. Probably a lot of them, people will realize, are twice exceptional. And a lot of neurodivergent learners, those who are seeking out alternative models, and of course, families who are wanting a flexible approach like a homeschool hybrid. But we're finding many of us, we just can't find that right dose, so to speak, for our learners. And I know that there's going to be many people who are intrigued by your work and want to learn more. And then there's going to be many others who are going to be excited to hear about how you started the curriculum because they may need to do so themselves specifically for their learners, such as if they created a nature school or if they created a school that was specifically for robotics and engineering. They're probably having a difficult time finding the curriculum out there that best suits their model and their needs. So thank you so much for sharing this. And tell our listeners again what the curriculum they can be looking for would be.
The Arkwright Education Solutions Curriculum.
The Arkwright Education Solutions Curriculum. I love it.
And this
I
is so
love
fun.
that.
The the Arkwright name, I have to tell you this because I think you'll really appreciate it.
Yes.
Our goal is to build little arcs. So an arc is a safe place for keeping treasures that are good and true and beautiful. And a right is someone who builds a treasure box. So
Oh,
Arkwright, we're making little treasure boxes to take what is good and true and beautiful out into the world.
I'm so inspired. I'm in love with it already. I cannot wait to see it. How did this turn into building your own micro school?
Well, when that first family came to me, telling me about their second grade daughter having that much anxiety
Mm-hmm.
about going to school every day and just being physically sick every day, um, it really was heavy on my heart, and I knew that I couldn't just not do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And since she was in the same grade as my daughter Haven, I said, well, why don't you just put her over with us? I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'll just make an extra copy of whatever math page we're doing or whatever it is.
Oh.
And they said, okay. So we did that. And that little girl is still with us this year. We just started our third year. And she is doing beautifully.
Oh, how many students do you serve in your micro school?
Right now, I have around 10. It depends on the day because we also have students who come in from time to time for specific classes. So maybe an English class or maybe a math class or a science class, because a lot of homeschoolers don't like getting their kitchens dirty with experiments. So
Of
that's one of
course.
our that's one of our more popular things that we offer to the homeschool community.
Do you also offer full time?
We do.
Students come to you Monday through Friday, okay? And then there's
Mhm.
also the drop-in for specific classes. What
That's
has been
exactly
your
right.
greatest, what's been your greatest form of marketing?
Word of mouth. We live in a
Hmm.
tiny, tiny community. Our county has less than 5,000 people in it.
Wow. The county.
So yes, and so it's kind of a place where you have to know someone who knows someone who knows
Mm.
someone before you can even get that phone number. Because if you try to call the phone number that's online, or if you try to call the phone number that's listed, it's not going to be the right one.
Oh, yeah. So there's a little bit of a barrier to this. And is the drive far for people to come and drop their children off to you? You said you live in a 200-year-old house in the country. And how is that for transportation wise for the children who come to you?
They also live in the country. So no
Oh,
matter where they're going to school, they're going to have to drive a little bit.
yes, of course. How did your children adjust to you inviting more kiddos in?
Every year there's a question, not just with my kids, but the other students. Oh no, is everything going to change? What's going to happen? Are you going to make us sit at desks?
Oh.
And I know their little hearts. They have several of them have actual trauma from going to school. And when we pass different school buildings, that you can almost see them shudder. It's really
Mm.
strange. And so I knew when we needed a new building, we couldn't do it. We were operating out of a little tiny shed that my husband fixed up for us and put air conditioning in and stuff. So we were in
That's
this little
precious.
tiny 12 by something, 12 by 8, 12 by 10 shed. And the bookshelves honestly took up most of the space.
I believe it.
And so I knew when we were inviting other people in that we were going to need another building.
Mm.
And boy, did we.
Yes.
And this summer, my husband and the other dads from the micro school and half of our church, I think, got together and built a yurt out to the side of our property. We have 4 acres, so it's um, out on one side of our house, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful space with a lot of
It
windows, and it
It's
doesn't look.
gorgeous, Cami. It is absolutely gorgeous. I do have a question because we have thought about getting the land with something that we have been trying to pursue for the past 5 years and having yurts or tiny houses as well. Did you buy a specific yurt type of framework or did they build it? Is this handmade or did you research, seek out a company?
We got a kit,
You got a
and we
kit.
go. We did from Blue Ridge Yurts. Highly recommend them. They're fantastic. Will answer any of your questions, and they're just sweet people.
Blue Ridge Yurt. Oh my goodness, that is just so helpful for many of us. They delivered the kit to you?
They can deliver the kit. We chose to go up. My dad and I had a little
Oh,
father-daughter trip and took his big old trailer up to Virginia to pick it up.
did it how many students does the yurt fit?
Our yurt is 30 feet in diameter and it's a circle. So it's about 700 some odd square feet.
Mm.
And I'm not sure how many we could fit in there. We haven't tried to fit a whole lot in there yet. We like our space and we like our big old bean bags.
I
So
know those kids are so grateful for such a unique opportunity to learn. Cami, this is so enlightening for so many of us who are grateful for where we begin and we're grateful for the space that we have, but it really breathes a fresh perspective for the different possibilities of how school can look and where it can take place.
Mhm.
Do you store materials in the yurt, or do you store materials in your original shed?
We do a little bit of both. We have a lot
Okay.
of our science equipment in the yurt because we use it every week, but we also have a lot of extra books and things in the shed.
Have you been able to receive funding from any grants or from any fundraisers that you have done, or has this strictly been from from the profit that you have made at your school?
I have some of the best parents to work with in the world,
Oh.
and a couple of them, especially one, uh, just took it and ran with it and said, "Let's raise some money." I said, "Go
Oh.
for it." And she just tore it up last
Wow.
year, and the kids were all about it. They were so excited, and they helped choose the different parts of the yurt and helped design where the windows were going to go and that kind of thing. And it was a really fun project for them, and then they got to see it go up, and they got to help, and they got to, and now they're working on decorating it and putting their things in it. But I'm sorry, I forgot your original question there.
No, that's okay. Have you been able to get other? That's
Oh,
fantastic that you had the parent who has helped you. Have you been able to receive any grants?
we haven't gotten any grants yet. I've applied for a few, but we haven't
Okay.
gotten any yet.
Have you applied for the Vela grant?
I haven't
Okay.
received it yet. Um, so that's actually on definitely on my radar. I'm hoping
Sure.
so much to be able to avail myself of that.
Yes, of course. And any help that you need, Cami, please let us know in our Micro School Masterminds community. We can definitely help you. I've been very blessed by Vela and very blessed by the people and the opportunities that they've been able to give us. And I know that they have such a beautiful heart to serve so many people. And I want to make sure that they also hear your story and see the fruit of your labor, because I know that they will be very inspired as well. So please, without any hesitation, hop in our Micro School Masterminds group. I'd be happy to support you and others as well who have been so blessed to have received a Vela grant. I know that they do have a window open right now for a micro grant. So let's definitely touch base about that for sure. So you can continue to pursue this. I'm
Great.
so grateful that you have had such a powerhouse of a community. I know that they have had such a great time, I'm sure, developing this with you. What was the push? What was the type of fundraiser that she did to help get this in onto your property?
We did several. We did raffle tickets for grocery gift cards and Amazon gift cards.
Oh,
We
nice.
did a we had every year the county has a they call it springtime in Ellaville, which is the one, and every they'll snow cones, they do lemonade stands and all kinds of things. And our kids, the kiddos really wanted to have a slime booth and help other kids make slime for a small fee. So that was their thing, and they researched it, and we had a slime making day to figure out what kind of slimes were the best kind of slimes to make. And they made a lot of money at the slime booth.
Okay, so they created the slime and sold it. Did they also charge for teaching how to make the slime?
They just kids who were at the booth, they got to make their own slime, and they
Oh.
had a partner go through the process with them, and then they could add in the little sparkles or whatever for another 50 cents or whatever.
Okay, that is adorable. And I love how majority of this was very kid inspired.
Mm-hmm. They had a blast doing it. They learned a lot. The younger ones were counting money. Everybody came away with blue and green hands from the food coloring. It was
Oh,
fantastic.
did w- did you have success within like a 3-month period to raise these funds, or did it take longer?
It took most of a year.
Almost a year. Wow.
Mhm.
But that's the one goal. You had this one goal, and the money that we raised, was it very specific? This money is going to go to buying us a new building, such as the yurt.
Yes.
Oh, that's really, really important. I think that others know what the money that you're raising is going to go towards. And I believe that you stuck with this one goal, and that one goal is over and over and over these baby steps, so to speak, to reach that one goal, multiple fundraisers to meet that one goal. Really,
Mhm.
really, really incredible.
We even had travel mugs um, that were made especially by this one mom who took it upon herself to head everything up. It said this mug helps build a new classroom for Arkwright Microschool, and they were super cute too and
Oh,
colorful. And so people were buying these mugs for $20, and that helped us raise a lot of money too. And then she and uh, some of the other parents were able to do another raffle for three different firearms because we live in
oh,
the country and we have a lot of hunters around here, and they were really
sure.
nice weapons too. So they were all over that.
Yes. How did you get the Amazon gift cards and the grocery store coupons?
The parents donated a lot of them,
Mm.
and then we had some businesses donate too.
Oh, for a raffle. And did
Mhm.
you have an event where you were selling these raffle tickets?
We sold raffle tickets at the Springtime in Ellaville event, and then we sold raffle tickets outside of the grocery store that had donated a lot of the gift cards. They donated, oh, I don't know, I want to say at least five significant gift cards, and so having it right outside of the grocery store was
Oh,
a big help because those are the people who are going to be shopping there, right?
yes, of course. So you set up a little booth, kind of like a little Girl Scout booth, and they did
Hmm.
a raffle for the gift cards, and you would call the families and bless them.
Exactly.
Very wise, very wise. I love to hear your success story. Thank you so much for sharing about
Mhm.
that beautiful building and the ways that you sacrificed and worked together as a community to get there. I also know that you faced some hardships, and one of which happened at the beginning of this year. Would you mind telling our audience the hardships that you have faced and how you've been able to persevere through them?
Well, the beginning of the school year, we were almost done with um, having the year up, but we didn't have electricity out there yet. And we wanted to have the electricity out there before the kids were in the building because we did not want the electricians working around the kids
Mm-hmm.
because it's just it would be too big of a problem, and it would
Mm-hmm.
be better just to wait.
Sure.
So we waited for an extra day or two, and then we were able to move into the yurt. The following day, we had something that um, was a kind of a temporary solution, and the following weekend or something, we were going to do the rest of the electrical work. The guy was going to come back and fix everything up and button it up. And my husband was putting in the power pole that was right next to the yurt where I forget what you call it, but the where the electricity comes in and then goes into a building, and it has the little meter there.
Okay. Had your husband ever, is he an electrician? Had he had ever had experience doing that?
He's not. He was working with his tractor, and he um, he was using a he was using the PTO shaft of the tractor to hook up a tool to dig a hole, an auger, and his pants got caught in the PTO shaft, which has some sharp parts on it to attach different tools to, and I pulled his leg into the sharp parts, and it just tore up his thigh. And all of the kids that were in the yurt at the time, we all heard him shout, "No!" And I grabbed my cell phone and started heading outside. And I was about halfway to the door when he yelled, "Call 911, Cami, right now." I said, "Oh, this is not good." Because he's the guy
Oh,
who's like, "Oh, I can drive myself," when he, has an arm hanging off. But
right.
I went out there and saw what had happened, and it was terrible. My first thought was, "Oh no, what if he got the artery in his leg?" But he didn't. By some miracle, he did not nick the artery at all.
Praise
Um,
God.
but I could see it was like a full color anatomy lesson in the leg.
Mm.
And I called 911, and all of the kiddos stayed inside the yurt with my fellow teacher that I was able to hire this year. Yay!
Yay!
And uh, so Dr. Brian got taken away in the ambulance, and he was in the hospital for a week. They did, um, at this point, they've done 5 surgeries on him. And he is just now able to start getting around a little bit. Has been stuck in the bed for the last 8 weeks or so.
Oh my goodness, Cami. I know this has been such an emotional, spiritual, and physical journey for your family.
It sure has. And that was just the beginning of a whole series of really, really difficult events this year. I have never in my life experienced the kind of um, attack. That's the only thing that we can
Sure.
we can chalk it up to. And anyone that we've talked to at our church, or just even in the community, has said, "Whoa, that is something weird is going on."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, these kiddos, we're having some really good conversations with the kids, especially the teenagers and preteens, about what is truth and who
Yeah.
gets to decide what is true
Mm. That's deep.
and why.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, we feel like that is probably one of the big reasons that we're facing all of these difficulties.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear this, but I do know that God is the creator and he loves us and he wants nothing but beauty and he is not the author of confusion. He is the creator of peace. And I'm sure that your testimony is going to touch the lives of many people that have felt attacked, that have felt as if they are going through spiritual warfare, that they have felt as if they have been doing all of these wonderful things and working in their calling and moving through the mission. And they felt called to do this, but why are all of these other things happening? And I appreciate you sharing because even yesterday, as I was talking to my mother in law and was sharing some of the hardships, she texted me back after our conversation and said, "Mackenzie, this is spiritual warfare. You have to armor up. You have to get into the word every day. You have to be in continual prayer." And she said, "But God always gets the victory." And she said, "You're doing wonderful, amazing things for this world, for this community, and the enemy does not want us. He will attack our purpose in life, he will attack our families, but God, we have to continue to trust that God is going to release his angels concerning us, even though this was such a terrible event for your family. We're so grateful that your husband made it out. And I know that in your weakness, you will be made strong."
One of the things that has really encouraged me is something I put up on the wall years ago in our little shed, and it says, "Success in God's eyes is faithfulness. One day, 1 hour, one moment at a time in the thousands of little things we do. And an
Oh,
overcomer is the one who is striving to be faithful by God's standards and not successful by the world's."
That is incredible. I'm very moved by that.
I'm
I would
very
love
moved
for
by
you to
that
take a
too.
picture. I would love for you to take a picture or
Okay.
type it up for me because say it louder for the crowd. That was so good, Cami.
It's something that I've gone back to over and over. And even when things are so difficult, even when everything seems foggy and miserable
Mhm.
and you don't know which direction to take your next step, just knowing that in God's eyes, we are successful as long as we stay faithful to Him in
Oh,
that one single moment. And since He is the author of truth, we
yes.
are successful.
Yes. Thank you. I know that I needed this for sure today. I did. You have really blessed us. And I feel as if after this podcast episode, I'm going to go on a little walk and I'm going to thank God for his goodness. And I'm also going to ask him to forgive me for any time that I have not been as obedient or as faithful as what he would want me to be. But I know and I'm grateful that we serve a forgiving God who is always replenishing us. And thank you for that beautiful reminder.
What grace. He doesn't ask anything of us but
One
one moment at a time.
moment. One moment, because even today, Cami, I thought I've done so good this whole week of preparing my mind and my body and my spirit. And then today I was like really off. It
Mm.
was a little bit of a hard night in our family. It was a rough night sleeping. And then I woke up this morning and I was a little bit like not sharp as I would like to be. And I knew that I had this interview with you. So grateful for it because now I really do I feel refreshed and I feel reminded. And thank you for your transparency and for your vulnerability and sharing with us today.
Absolutely. It is a joy to be with you.
Thank you, Cami. I know that the best is really yet to come. We've had amazing moments in your micro school. The best is yet to come. What would you recommend? What would be your advice to someone who is starting a micro school or in a micro school? What are some of the greatest lessons that you've learned?
If you are married, make sure your marriage is strong and don't neglect your partner.
Oh,
That would be a big one because um, when one falls down, the other can lift them up.
for sure.
And that is if that one uh, if that one relationship goes goes to the pits, you're not going to be able to concentrate or do what you are called to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you're called to do more than one thing, and it's important to make sure that your priorities are in the correct alignment.
Yes, of course.
But at the same time, um, don't think that you're going to get a lot of sleep starting micro school.
You're not going to get a lot of
you're
sleep
you're
starting
not
a micro
you're
school.
not going to get a lot of vacation time starting micro school, and that's okay. That's okay. But you
Yes.
also need to realize that it's not sustainable. So
Mm-hmm.
for a short time, yes, and then figure out how to make it sustainable so that you can continue in the work and not fizz out.
Yes. That's very, very good advice. And it's interesting because you may listen to other podcasts or business podcasts or business YouTube, and I appreciate all of the knowledge and the wisdom that I gain, but I don't quite hear about the sacrifices or the hardship of what it took for them to get to where they are as I do in our micro school community. I
Mm-hmm.
think that we are so real about what it has taken and the sacrifice that we have made to get here. And I'm sure that that could feel scary to someone who's just starting out. But I do believe that there is so much goodness, and I do believe that it is worth it.
Hmm.
And I
I
appreciate you
don't know.
sharing about the priorities because that is very important. That even though there is a sacrifice, even though there are hardships, keep your priorities in line. And that doesn't mean you just say it, it's easier said than done. But your marriage, your family, revisiting it, having conversations with your spouse every week, having conversations with your children every week. My youngest daughter, she's a star at soccer, and she's starting to get into this higher league. It's more competitive, and she's sensing this feeling of burnout. And I it's all she's ever wanted to do for 5, 6 years. I want to be a professional soccer player. I can't think of anything else that I want to do. And I sat with her last night. She was taking a bath, and I sat down next to her and I said, Jolie, I want you to know, I know what it feels like to love something so deeply, but also feel on the verge of burnout. And she said, have you ever wanted to quit? And I said, absolutely.
Hmm.
I have felt
Hmm.
like, what have I gotten myself into? Why did I sign up for this? How could I get over the exhaustion or the burnout? And people do tell you, stick with your why, stick with your why. And I agree to that. But I do believe that our whys change. The why we do something can change over time. And I told my daughter Jolie, I said, don't forget about the things that you've loved since you were a little girl, the things that you have dreamt about, because the hard times are going to come. And when you are in the right element, you will feel as if you are knocked down. You will feel like your best is not good enough. People are going to say things about you. People are going to make you feel like you're crazy because of the way that you feel. But I want you to
Hmm.
stay true to what the dream has been, what you've liked and what you've desired to do since you were a little girl, because that is innately what ends up coming out and through us through this calling. So even though you maybe didn't like the homeschooling aspect or the teaching your siblings, you were uniquely gifted and created to do it.
And
And you may have
once
been
I
running away
realized
from it.
it clicked. Yeah, it just clicked once I realized what was happening. Even when I started homeschooling our oldest, I got so into it, and I was tutoring
Oh,
other homeschoolers. And uh, what you told your daughter, it's so wise. It's so wise because we are each created for a specific, well, not a specific purpose, multiple specific purposes.
yes.
And when we realize that those purposes, it just clicks and you know it. And when even in the hard times doing it and you want to quit, and you are feeling all of this pressure from other people who might be saying things, and things are just hard and you're tired and you just
Yes.
want to have a piece of cheesecake, and then
Yes.
so you take a nap, you have a piece
Mm-hmm.
of cheesecake,
Mm-hmm.
and then you feel better and you go
Yes.
about doing what you are called to do. And it's
Yes.
important to realize that, even Jesus was, when he was tired, he went and took a nap.
He sure
I've
did.
He did. He took naps. And we can realize that we can also rest in that.
Absolutely. Because we can get really fixated on the productivity, and I gotta do the marketing and the curriculum and the calling back of the families and making learning fun and paying the bills and making sure that everything is right financially.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Cami, for really reconnecting us today. Reconnecting to the purpose, to the beauty of this experience, and to the reality of it. I appreciate your vulnerability, and I know that others do as well. Thank you so much for being in our Microschool Masterminds group. If you don't mind sharing, what actually inspired you to become a Microschool Mastermind?
Funny you should ask, Mackenzie. I I was looking for podcasts about micro schools, because after I started the micro school, I found out that it was called a micro school.
Right. I
Oh,
know. It's like, what are we doing? And oh my gosh, it's actually a thing.
it's a whole thing. And other people are doing this. It's amazing. Why don't we all
Yes.
band together? Oh, wait a second. Somebody named Mackenzie started a podcast about this. I should listen to it. So I did. And I kind of binge listened to your podcast for about 2 weeks. And then I said, okay, I've got to join micro school masterminds because I'm going to learn things on there that I don't have time to learn on my own. And I did. And I learned so very much, and not just learned things, but I was so encouraged hearing other people, or even just if I had a question and someone would answer just even a 2 or 3 word reply, and I said, oh, thank God I got that answer, and um, it is just such a load off, honestly, because all of the um, sorry, I don't, but I do mean to plug the business bundle. Oh
Yes.
my goodness, it knocked my socks off. It was
Oh,
fantastic. And I'm still using a lot of things from there, and just changing a thing here or there in the templates.
mhm.
And it's so very helpful, and it gave me a place to start.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that because a lot of us, it's just we have all of these ideas and all of these questions, and we just need to know the next thing to do. What's the next move to make? And
Mhm.
I really appreciate you sharing that, Cami. Where can our audience meet you and learn more from you and connect with you?
They can find us on the web at arkwrightguardians.com, or they can,
arkwrightguardians.com. That's
yes.
beautiful.
And there, if y'all go on that website, it is full of pictures of the students enjoying themselves on field trips or doing class projects, or any of the many things that we do. Um, oh, I did want to mention something that is really unique to our micro school, and that is that every quarter we take 1 week to travel a lot of times, or to learn a specific set of hands-on skills.
Oh.
So and we call them quest weeks, where we
Oh,
question, understand, we do a service project. So question, understand, serve, we train, and those are our quest weeks.
that's so innovative. I know that they love those quest weeks.
Oh boy, do we. And so we've done everything from a safety week where they learn fire safety and how to build fires, and they learn knife safety and a bunch of the Boy Scout outdoor type skills. They learned
Yeah.
self-defense, they learned weather safety, that kind of thing. And then usually I plan the first three, and then for the last quarter, our spring quest, I let the kids plan it and budget for it and
Oh,
choose what they're going to do. And then if they need more money than is in the budget, they're free to fundraise. And so they learn a lot of entrepreneurial skills. It's just a fantastic thing. So the first year that we did this with other people other than my own family, the girls decided, because it was just girls, two second grade girls, what are they, or third grade, I guess at that point, what are they going to decide? They said, Miss Carey, we want to learn how to train dolphins.
oh,
I said, I'll look into it for you guys, but no promises.
right.
Don't you know it? Those two girls just worked themselves. They worked and worked and worked and earned enough money to go to Florida for a week to train with
What?
dolphins. Yes, they did. They did. And we have pictures on the
Yes,
website
we
about it.
did.
Oh,
I'm so proud of you. Thank you for coming. Who is that darling
This is
girl?
Haven.
Haven, I'm
Hey.
so proud of you.
Thanks.
Yes, you are such an inspiration. I am 41 years old and wouldn't even know how to do that myself, Haven. And so I am so proud of you. I know that you're going to have such a bright future ahead of you. Congratulations, sweetheart.
Sorry about that.
She's adorable. Thank you so much for allowing her to pop in. That was so cute. And that was not planned. She was just right there at the right time.
Oh, she's wide open.
She is. Thank you so much, Cami, for not only coming and sharing your testimony, but giving us really great ideas. I'm just spinning my wheels thinking next week, how can we have our own quest week? What could we call it that would be specific to Lighthouse Learning? And I know our parents would just really flourish with that activity. So thank you for sharing. I know you have taught us about fundraising, you've taught us about perseverance, you've taught us about priorities. You've taught us about curriculum. You've shared about your own journey and hardships and how you've gotten through with them. You've shared about the intricate details of planning to make learning fun. This isn't this is such a blessing, Cami. Thank you so much. And I know that not only have you blessed others, that God is with you and you are going to have such a prosperous future in your health and your finances and your mind and your family. Thank you for being obedient. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful community. And God bless you.
Thanks, Mackenzie. It was great to talk to you.
You as well.